I'm sure you have asked the question to yourself why developers of the game is bringing the new heroes which are more of a support type of gameplay. Well, I will try my best to explain the reason, and I will try to explain why I think that support heroes are just too perfect, especially for tier 4 players, right? Because, well, if you are a tier 4 player, unfortunately, you are not dealing as much damage as you want to deal during the PvP. Unfortunately, tier 5 players are way, way stronger, right? And getting to tier 5 for a free to play player is not that easy. That's why I think the reason of the support heroes bringing to the game is simple fact that even tier 4 players will try to be impactful during Battlefield. Unfortunately, being tier 4 and being support won't gonna transmit to the merits. Of course, like I hope in the future, healing will also give us some merits, but right now we can only look at the buffs, which kind of buffs we are actually getting from the supports, and well, honestly, if I will tell you by my own experience, Tarra, Invis, and Theia, and of course Eliana is just too perfect to not to use, right? First of all, I will speak about Tarra because that's the newest epic hero in the game, which is simply amazing, especially for the archer heroes, right? First of all, let's check what kind of skills we are having for the Tarra and why I think she is amazing. Now, first skill is just like simple healing skill and grants your legion hero skill damage deal 20%. That's not really impressive, right? What's impressive about Tarra is the enlightenment skill, which is like while in battle, the legion and 4 surrounding friendly legions gain keen and resistance every 10 seconds. Keen is 15% attack bonus and resistance is damage taken 10%. Duration 5 seconds. Actually, the amount of duration 5 seconds is just too much. I think that's just great, right? For 5 seconds you are getting this amount of buffs from the epic hero, and trust me, this is amazing, right? I at first I thought it was like 2 or 3 seconds, but for 5 seconds you can use it like every 10 seconds, which means you have a cooldown only for 5 seconds, right? So this is just really powerful. The third skill is gathering skill, which is not really useful, and the fourth one is defense bonus and HP bonus. That's actually great because you want your support heroes to be alive as long as possible, so they will be able to give us buffs, which is really important. And awakening skill is easy, but before awakening healing factor was 500, and after awakening healing factor is 600, and especially like awakening epic heroes is not that hard, and I think everybody will be able to awaken Tarra in a short amount of time, right? The next hero which we're gonna speak, which is perfect match for Tarra in my opinion, is Indis, right? And the beauty of Indis is that you can get Indis tokens by playing the game from the Dragon Trail. It's free for every single player. Doesn't really matter if you are tier 5, tier 4, free to play or pay to win. I'm pretty sure as long as you are playing the game, you have your Indis awakened. So which kind of buffs Indis is giving us, right? Infirm, which is really important, 20% damage taken increase, which is giving us to 2 nearby legions, and I love that buffs are given to a couple of legions nearby. 600 damage factor, which is nice, and 450 healing factor, so kinda all around skill for Indis. The second skill is useless for the PvP because that's gathering, and the third skill, HP bonus 20%, maximum legion capacity 7%. You might say why this is important, right? First of all, it's important because we will be tanky, we will be alive longer, and we will be applying those buffs for a longer time. So even Tarra has some HP and defense bonuses, and Indis is having 20%, which is really a lot. And of course, one of the most unique skills in the game, maximum legion capacity bonus 7%, is great. Of course, less counter attack damage taken adds up for even more tankiness, right? So basically, this is like first hero pair which I have been trying myself. If you are running 5 marches together, especially archers, try to have at least one Indis and Tarra hero pair, and you will see how much your merits gonna increase, how much attack bonuses you are going to have, and in general how well you are going to perform. This KVK, I have been trying this hero pair by myself, and my merits is already increased. I'm already kind of same merits as last season, and I still have like 11 more days to compete in this season, right? And 4 million merits for a free-to-play player is really amazing result. Of course, we have to speak regarding the artifact and the warped for this hero pair, and for me myself, I'm using Indis as a primary hero and Tarra as a secondary. In terms of talents, well, Indis talents are like this is the talent tree which I'm currently using. Of course, I'm using support talent tree as a main with the force field. Every time your legion gains a buff effect, their HP is increased. Well, of course, I want to have this hero pair more tanky. And the next one, Flock of the Blessing. When your legion gains a buff effect, you are getting more healing. Well, simply because I understood that healing in PvP is great, right? And the idea came from, of course, Magrot and Zaida. Before that, healing was totally useless, but we understood that in PvP, healing is perfect. And the other tree, like secondary tree, is of course overall tree, and I'm having spirited response. When your legion is hit with normal attack damage, they gain rage because I want to use my skills, right? I want to use my main skills, and that's how I'm going to play with this hero pair. This is in this talent tree. I will repeat one more time. Don't copy and paste. Try to understand what every single skill point is giving you, so you will build your own gameplay like that, right? And of course, in terms of artifacts, I would recommend to go for the Fang of Ashkari, right? Fang of Ashkari is great choice. Legion defense. We don't care about skill, but of course, if somebody will come to our range in a melee range, we're gonna use the Thunder Shadow. But my main idea is that Fang of Ashkari will just give us a lot of survivability, so we will be using Ara's skills, Ara's buffs, in these buffs more often. Of course, there is a lot more other choices, but from my own gameplay, I highly prefer defensive artifact on a support, right? And unfortunately, as an archer player, there is not a lot of archer like support gameplay artifacts, but well, you have a you're gonna use whatever you have, right? Head of Kamasi is great, but unfortunately, I'm using Head of Kamasi only for my Magrot and Zaida because I don't have Guided Crossbow. If you have Guided Crossbow for your Magrot and Zaida, for sure you can use Head of Kamasi, which gonna give us buffs even more, right? And well, if you don't have additional artifact for your archers, Fang of Ashkari will do its work. In terms of warped for this hero pair, well, in my opinion, you can easily go Sand Lizard for the pure healing. I'm not saying just copy this skill set, I'm only speaking about these warpeds. Depending on your gameplay, you will build your warped skills however you want, but the reason why I'm saying Sand Lizard is because of the heals, right? The healing is amazing. Only, like, I think only for PvP, right? Because healing in Garrison is bad, healing in Rally is bad, and I think healing in PvP is amazing. Other than that, of course, we have couple of more support heroes which we want to speak because they are just too good to not to speak, and the next one is of course Theia, right? Theia is great, especially if you're gonna pair Theia with the flying hero, because well, the skill set of the Theia is composed to the flying units. Of course, the first skill is shield factor and hero skill damage dealt bonus. The second skill is attack bonus 50% hero skill damage taken reduction. Whenever your legion is composed entirely of flying units, you are getting 20% defense, 10% attack and 20% march speed bonus, and yet again 10% attack bonus and max attack bonus 30%. The amount of buffs you are getting from Theia is just too perfect, right? And of course, awakening skill will give us the shield to 2 nearby enemy legions, and honestly, since if you're gonna use Indis and Tarra as a 1 march and you're gonna have, like, for example, play as a Wilderberg and you are using Craig and Theia as a second march in your 5 march legion, the amount of buffs you are getting for your legion is just too perfect, right? And that's the simple reason why I want to speak about Theia, right? I think Theia is one of the most used heroes in the game because it doesn't really matter which kind of faction you are or what kind of gameplay you are playing or what's your main troop type. Theia is great, right? If you're gonna you actually don't even have to awaken Theia, right? Because the amount of buffs you are getting, it's more useful to have high levels on these buffs than actually awakening her, right? Because like 20%, 10%, 20%, 10, 30, 50, 50, they're just too much, right? They're just too much. Plus, she's PvP hero, you can actually go with support and PvP talent tree, and you will be really, really happy, right? Of course, the hero pairs for Theia is like Kragan Theia for Wilderborg Wyverns, Atheos Theia, Bertrand Theia for Celestials, and Forodilent Theia for the Forest Eagles. The next hero which I want to speak is really, really nice because that's Eliana, one of the oldest epic heroes in the game, and I actually still use her in my Garwood hero pair, right? Eliana is overall peacekeeping support hero because the amount of buffs for the infantry, especially for the infantry this epic hero is giving, is just too perfect, right? The first skill, shield factor 500, physical damage factor 200, magic skill factor 200. That's like super overall hero, right? Like you are getting everything what you actually want for your overall hero. The second skill is for the peacekeeping, not that important, and this third skill, Legion takes 30% less normal attack damage. Guys, I will give you a comparisons how this is so amazing, right? You can see 30% less normal attack damage, right? If you're gonna go to the Theodore and you're gonna check Theodore's awakening skill, Theodore's Legion gains 25% less normal attack damage. You can understand what kind of powerful skill it is and how amazing it will be for the infantry heroes, right? 30%, it's even more than Theodore's awakening skill. This is how good she is, right? The fourth skill, when casting a rage skill, Legion gains shelter, increasing defense by 30% for 5 seconds. Yet again, high number for support hero, for the epic hero especially, and I think that's just too perfect, right? The awakening skill grants a divine shield to Eliana's Legion, giving them a 70% chance to receive healing when hit with a normal attack. This effect can be triggered once every 3 seconds. 3 seconds is really low amount of time, guys. Basically, you're gonna have 400 healing factor every 3 seconds. That's how it says, right? And plus 30%, 70% chance is really low. In terms of like hero pairs for the Eliana, well, I would go for Garwood and Eliana. That's actually my infantry hero pair, like till this day. And well, it's pretty easy to understand why, right? Garwood loves to receive a lot of healing and defensive buffs. Plus, you can see healing received bonus 30%, infantry defense bonus 20%. Also, healing factor 1.2k, damage taken reduction 20%. Physical damage dealt bonus, as this skill is not that impressive in my opinion. The first and third skill is the main idea why Garwood is great, and of course the awakening skill of the Garwood, 6 seconds instead of 4 and more healing factor. Of course, it's nice hero pair to try out. So basically, I tried my best to explain how you can actually use those heroes which are support, right? And there is a lot of good heroes here. I understand like everybody is trying to get as much merits as possible, but from my own experience by trying Tarra in this, the amount of buffs and amount of damage increase I'm getting is just too perfect. Of course, I'm not speaking about Theia, because I think Theia is like rally hero, right? Especially great with rally. Other than that, I am not really sure if she is powerful enough to try out in PvP gameplay, but if you want to use her still, I think you kinda have to be tier 5 player, right? If you are tier 4 player, I would not really recommend you to try Theia because rallies and garrisons and strongholds are meant to have for tier 5 players, because like if you are garrisoning, you need to have the strongest units in the game, which are tier 5. Of course, there is another support hero, which is Tohar, but unfortunately Tohar is not really giving a lot of buffs to our friendly legions. Tohar is giving buff to one legion to himself, and basically Bertrand and Tohar, that's the hero pair which have been using since the season 2. And well, if you like to have like single target damage dealing hero pair with the Bertrand and Tohar, you might want to have Tohar, right? But in my opinion, that's not really necessary. If you like support gameplay, in this, Tarra, Theia and Eliana should be the primary choice. There is one more hero, which is Pen. Actually, I don't really like a lot of skills of the Pen, but Awakening skill of the Pen is great, right? And let's see. Heals lightly wounded units and nearby friendly legion with the lowest unit count, healing factor 400, and grants them onslaught, right? Increasing normal attack damage dealt by 20% for 5 seconds, while also healing Pan's Legion 200. Of course, this is an awakening skill which is too perfect for archers, but unfortunately other skills doesn't do really anything, right? Like Legion has 20% chance to remove debuff, that's only for your own Legion, increase Legion defense and the hero skill damage taken. Well, if only this skill had like removing debuff to you and to your friendly Legion, of course I would use Pain 2. But in my opinion, strongest support heroes are in this, Tarra and Theia. I hope you understood more. I hope you will try this type of gameplay to yourself. At least try, right? If you won't gonna like it, just throw it away. If you will like it, give me a comment and tell me how well it went. Of course, if you liked the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really, really soon. Bye bye and luck.